Hello everyone and welcome to another build guide video for Last Epoch. It is yours truly, Mordecai Mike, and in today's video I'm going to be covering the Fire Necromancer build. This build is currently pushing 300 plus corruption content, and I'm having a blast while doing so. If you want to summon a fiery minion army and ignite and burn the world around you, this might be the build for you. Before I get into the setup, I do want to mention what stats you want to try to focus on. You want to try to stack flat and percent health, minion damage, percent spell damage for minions, flat spell damage for minion, fire percent damage for minion, crit chance, crit multiplier for minions, as well as percent minion health. You want to try to stack intelligence, ward per second, and ward retention where you can. All of those are very important to stack. It's a very strong stat. Intelligence essentially becomes a defensive layer for this build, as well as boosting your minion damage, so it's really, really important. Mana regen, if possible. I wouldn't say you focus that stat, but it is pretty useful considering this build does spawn a lot of minions at a fast rate. Crit avoidance where it's needed, typically at least in one ring is good enough with the blessing that you can get from a monolith. Possibly armor in the future. Unfortunately, I've been pretty unlucky with armor drops, so you know, I'm doing the best that I can. But it's something I do want to experiment with in the future. And if you would like, please, as always, feel free to pause the video to look at the gear if needed. As you can see, I am using some legendaries with this setup. What these legendaries are doing for me is they are dropping my total health, but then converting it into ward. And then this chest armor regenerates ward per second based off your total missing health. That's why ward per second as well as this chest armor are very powerful together, because you can see my ward is almost 8,000 currently, and anytime I get hit or take damage, it's like drinking a health potion constantly. It's really, really strong, and I like it a lot. Let's look at the idols real quick. The two idols that you want to try to get that are very important are the Ashen Adorned Immortal Idol of Cruelty. These two will let you summon your Flame Wraith 100% of the time, as long as you have over 100% chance total. So this is going to be very crucial for this setup, considering the Flame Wraith is going to be one of your primary damage dealers. Try to get at least one idol with the Mark for Death chance for your minions. What that does is it will give your minions a chance on hit to drop the enemy all resist by 25%, so it's going to be a damage buff for your minions. It does not stack, but it is still nice to have. Alright, let's get into the skills real quick. For our first skill, we're going to be looking at Summon Skeletal Mage. We have 4 into Putrid Essence, 4 into Argonautic Speed, we have 1 into Pyromancers, 4 into Flame Rot. I really like this node because it is a fire penetration debuff for your minions. It's very good. 1 into Inferno, 1 into Cellar Mortis, 1 into Order of Death, and then we have 4 into Shadow Wardens. This is also a really good node. It prevents your mages from being crit, helps them survive quite nicely. Moving on to Summon Wraith, we have 1 into Locus of Resurrection, 1 into Locus of Death. I think this is a fantastic one-pointer. This gives you a 60% more damage multiplier for your Wraith. They become stationary, but they also are ranged when they're a fire wraith, so this is a very good node. And I do believe that attack speed does convert into cast speed for them as well. 2 into Reapers, just so we can move over and get 4 into Wraithbringer. 3 into One Foot in the Grave. Again, this is a very good node. This essentially gives you another defensive layer while spawning your Wraith. 2 into Flame Wraith, and I know I already have a 100% chance to spawn a Flame Wraith. However, this is again a 10% more damage multiplier for your Wraith. 1 into Spirit Link, 3 into Down of the Fall, and then 3 in Dusk of the Living. Moving on to the Bone Golem, we have 1 into Amalgam of Sentinels, 1 into Tower of Bones, 1 into Fragments of the Fallen, 1 into Amalgam of Rogues. We have 5 out of 5 on Charred Bones. We have 5 into Burning Bones, we have 1 into Pyre Golem, and we have 5 into World Pyre. Moving on to our mobility skill. This is a really nice skill. It gives us mobility. It does have a defensive layer, as well as helps me manage my mana with this setup, which I really enjoy. 2 into Fleeting Form, 2 into Anemia, 3 into Bone Armor, 2 into Plated Bone, and 3 into Apostasy. 3 into Acolyte's Fervor, 2 into Azure Veins, and then we have 3 in Pale Blood. Moving on to our Summon Volatile Zombies, we have 2 into Forceful Commander, 1 into Daunting Blast, 1 into Ravenous. We have 2 into Pull of the Grave. This is going to be an execute kill threshold, and it's very powerful. I really like skills that can do this. 4 into Army of Rot, 1 into Repulsive Vomit, 1 into Flammable Vitae. We have 4 into Corrosive Guts. This is really powerful, especially with one of the passes we have. It can shred armor like crazy, which I really like. And then we have 4 into Wretched Innards. That's going to be the skills. Let's get into our passives. Starting in the Acolyte tree, we have 8 into Forbidden Knowledge, 1 into Mania of Mortality, 4 into Dark Rituals, 2 into Stolen Vitality. We have 5 into Unnatural Preservation, and we have 1 into Soul Ages. This is a really good one-pointer. It gives our minions quite a bit of armor based on our level. Moving over to the Lich, we have 5 into Apocrypha. This is a little extra intelligence, as well as giving us some mana regen. Going over to Necromancer, we have 8 into Elixir of Hunger. This is a pretty good node, especially when you do pop a potion. The cool thing about using a potion is that it will then increase your odds of potions dropping when you're not capped on potions, so keep that in mind. 1 into Risen Army, 3 into Cursed Blood. We have 8 into Aegis Fall. So as you can see, this with our zombies gives them a really high chance to shred armor and gives it multiple stacks. It's a really, really good node in general. 5 into Reclamation of Souls. We have 1 into Frantic Summons, 5 into Effigies, 8 into Tyrant, 8 into Cling to Life, 10 into Moonlight Pyre, 10 into Rite of Undeath. We have 5 into River of Bones, 10 into Heresy, and we have 5 into Veins of Malice. So this is a really neat skill. More or less, if you stand near your minions and cast your Transplant, it'll give them all Haste and Frenzy. It'll ramp their damage quite nicely. Real quick, I did want to mention, if you can get to the Blood, Frost, and Death as soon as possible, that's where you can get a lot of the legendaries that I'm currently wearing that let you convert your health into Ward. It's going to make you very durable, it's going to be very powerful, so get here as soon as possible to get your build running off the ground. Alright, now let's get into some gameplay. Well, there you have it, guys. As you can see, this is a very strong build, and I can see this build going even further than where I'm at right now. If you did enjoy the video, if you would consider subscribing and liking the video, please, that would help me out greatly, and I do appreciate it. If you guys have any comments or suggestions for me, please leave them down below. As always, I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.